The House That Dreamed, Part 2. The Memory of Walls. The door beneath the hearth groaned as it opened. Claire descended slowly, holding an oil lantern. She didn't recall lighting. The air grew warmer, thick with a scent of ash and aged roses. The stair spiraled downward, far longer than the house should allow, turn after turn of shadow-coated stone. Each step echoed as if striking memory itself. At the bottom, she entered a hall lined with mirrors. These didn't reflect her. Each one revealed a different version of the house. One bright with sunlight and laughter. Another in ruins, with creeping vines overtaking every corner. One mirror showed a child sobbing alone in a nursery. Another displayed her sleeping body back in the upstairs bedroom. The mirrors whispered, not words, but feelings. She reached out toward one and froze as her reflection blinked out of sync, tilting its head as if listening. Then it mouthed something she couldn't hear. The lantern flickered violently, and when the flame steadied, the reflection was gone. The hallway ended in a circular library unlike the grand one upstairs. This room pulsed with a strange heartbeat. Priants, its walls, floor to ceiling, were crammed with books bound in human-like leather. The shelves spiraled into a dome above, where the ceiling throbbed like living tissue. The books had no titles, only simple sigils that seemed to change as she moved past them. One spine pulsed softly, drawing her closer. When she touched it, her hand burned. Images slammed into her mind. A young woman, eyes hollow with sleep loss, scribbling into a journal. Behind her, shadows formed hands. "Read," she whispered. "I'll remember it for you, just in case you forget." Claire reeled back. Her fingers were red and blistered. The book clattered to the floor, but did not open. A rustle behind her. She turned and saw the veiled woman from her dream stall, motionless. "Do you remember me?" the woman asked. Her voice was like leaves in a crypt. Claire shook her head. The woman lifted her veil. It was Claire, but older. Her eyes were bloodshot. Her skin pale and warm, like parchment soaked in grief. "The house doesn't just dream," she said. "It remembers. It writes. And you are its ink." "Why me?" Claire asked, her voice barely audible. The older Claire did not smile. "Because you listened. Because you listened. Because you saw the door. That's more than most." A terrible creaking filled the room. Books began to fall off the shelves. Somewhere behind the walls, something groaned awake. "The house is opening again," the older Claire said. "That hasn't happened in years. Perhaps not in centuries." She reached into her own chest, skin parting without blood. From beneath her ribs, she drew a silver key, slender, ornate, etched with whorls and eyes. "You'll need this for the next door," she said. "The house trusts you now, but that comes with a price." "What price?" Claire asked. The blight extinguished. She awoke again in the bedroom upstairs. The key lay on the nightstand, outside the window. The landscape had changed. No longer a forest. The world was now an endless expanse of grey hills. rippling like cloth under wind that didn't blow. The sun hung motionless, as if afraid to set. She touched her notebook. The handwriting inside had shifted again, more elegant, older. A new passage glowed faintly. There are no clocks here, no time, only story, only the house. Her hand shook. She pressed the key to her palm. It was warm, pulsing slightly. She stepped into the hallway. Where the closet once stood, a new passage now stretched. The floor was checkered marble. The walls were lined with portraits of people. She vaguely recognized faces from dreams. Strangers with her eyes, her hair, her scars. Each portrait had a plaque beneath. Chapter 19. The Dreamer Who Forgot. Chapter 24. The Cartographer of Hollow Rooms. Chapter 31. The One Who Tried to Burn It Down. At the end of the hallway was a door. She inserted the key. The door resisted. At first, then it opened into a museum-like chamber with glass cases arranged in tight rows. Each held a memorism, flickering like film reels, others frozen like taxidermy displays. Claire moved from case to case. One held her first childhood nightmare, being locked in a closet, while voices mocked her. Another showed her college dorm room, but the posters had eyes that tracked her. In one, she saw herself standing beside a man she never remembered meeting it. Tears fell as she looked at it. She was losing her boundaries. What belonged to her? What belonged to the house? A case at the center drew her attention. It displayed a cot and a journal, but the cot was stained with blood, and her voice echoed faintly from speakers above. It's still writing through me. Even now, even when I want to stop. Something behind her breathed. She turned. The older Claire stood beside a mirror, no longer veiled. It's not enough to remember, she said softly. You must choose which story to live in, because soon the house will write the ending without your permission. Claire approached the mirror. This time, her reflection moved exactly as she did. Her face was pale, eyes wide but familiar. Then the reflection smiled a slow, knowing smiled and mouthed, "We were always here." The mirror turned black. She awoke again, but not in the house. She lay in a bed floating inside an endless library. Around her, floating books turned their own pages. From the ceiling, thin tendrils of light dripped like rain. Below, other beds floated each, holding someone she thought she recognized. In the silence, a voice whispered, "Part 3 begins at the stairway that goes nowhere. But remember, even dead houses dream." The bed began to drift toward a spiral staircase that looped in middle. Claire did not resist. Behind her, far in the distance, a bell chimed once more. To be continued in Part 3. The Dreamer Within.